What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. As you can see, we are on some MX Simulator again, and we have a track that I was actually really pleasantly surprised when I say surprised, I just brought back some good nostalgia, you know. So I was scrolling through the forums looking for more of like a fantasy type track for today rather than anything super serious. Just want to have a bit of fun, and came across this bad boy, which is the 2015 Squared Rhythm rather than Straight Rhythm. And I have done this track before, way back in the day. The track itself was made by Nico and Stone Rider, so some of you guys that are newer to the channel that might have originally came here for MX bikes related stuff, you'll know exactly who those two are. They was quite big in the MX Simulator scene before making the transition over to MX bikes, and it was just really nice. I'm going to be going through a little trip down memory lane today. I fully expect to crash quite a few times because as you can see from the map at the top right, it's literally just like 4 straight rhythms kind of sandwiched into each other, like back to back. So you know how difficult it is getting one clean run in a single straight rhythm, never mind putting 4 of them together. The reason I quite like the idea of this as opposed to a normal one is I've looked at doing straight rhythm videos in the past. However, I can't see them really being that interesting, if that makes sense. Purely from the reason being, you're either going to be crashing a lot and restarting from the very beginning, or you're going to do absolutely fine in like a minute-long run, and then you're going to be done. I don't know how you can like fully flesh that out into a decent video. So very glad that we've got this instead. I believe there's also like a triangular one that I think it might have even been made by Spencer Turley. To be honest, I think I saw that hovering about somewhere. But yes, very excited and happy to give this a go. I'm on the 450 today for the first time in quite some time. I've been putting off riding the 450 purely on the basis of I don't want to kind of lose any muscle memory from the 250 for the racing side of things I've been doing. However, those of you that have seen my my 2 videos I uploaded yesterday and the day before regarding my race finishes, leaves a little to be desired, is all I'm going to say. It did not go very well, and it has been incredibly frustrating. I know some of the crashes, hands down, absolutely my fault, but I feel like sometimes, I don't know if people are just oblivious or if they're newer or whatever it may be. I know obviously Sim is quite a difficult game, so if people crash and they kind of roll into you, there's nothing you can do about that. But when people are just so oblivious, they just come across into your line normally all the time, it's so frustrating. And especially when I feel like I could potentially get some top 10s, and obviously all my starts end up being absolutely terrible and just really unfortunate on lap 1s, and it's not gone how I've wanted it to be going. But you know, I'm kind of I mean, I've paid for the season passes at this point, so I'm in it for the long haul. It's not like I've just bought the one race and dipped, so one way or another I'm gonna have to get my money's worth. So I'm gonna keep going for it. Actually, oh my god, to be fair, this is a 250 suspension. I can't show it because it's given to me by some of the top people that certainly wouldn't appreciate it, and I don't want to be that guy going and making enemies. I feel like yeah, maybe it doesn't suit the 450 too well. It might be a little bit soft, so that's why I'm getting these legs off on the not very hard landings. Like, am I going to get one here? Oh no. Just going to have to implement the old sit down, lean forwards, back brake, accelerate technique, because, you know, Sim's a weird game and that exists for some reason. And, I forgot we have to go into the infield here. So you go into the infield and you go around this massive roller turn, which I'm probably going to be hitting like a bit of a squid, because I don't want to turn too tight and have my back end kick round on me. I'm just going to double my way through as much as I can. Just little seat bounces. And again. I'm sure people can do it a lot quicker than this, but I do need a hell of a lot of practice. Speaking of practice, my god, I think I'm going to be in for a rude awakening tomorrow. It's, what's the day? It's Wednesday the 8th, as I'm recording this. Tomorrow is the start of the Aerial MX Bikes Outdoors, which I have not done any practice for. I downloaded the Fox Raceway test version that got released and people done a practice race on. I've done maybe 5 to 10 laps at this point since it's been out, which has been well over a week at this point, and that's kind of been the extent of my bike's time, other than the occasional video here and there that you've seen. I've just not been playing the game. It's not been interesting me too much at all. Like I mentioned the other day, that gaming in general at the moment's been a bit weird for me. Not been enjoying things too much, and I think part of it kind of stems from the effort I've been putting in, especially on like the sim side, for example, and then what you get out of it doesn't really seem to match. I'm going to get another crash here. Oh my god. Oh, come on. I'll survive the difficult bit and then I crash on that silly little single afterwards. That's very frustrating. But I'm not even done with the lap yet. So you can see very, very long lap times. I'm sure there's people out there that can quite happily or quite easily get around this entire track without crashing. I do remember spending quite a lot of time on it back in the day just to try and learn the lines, try and learn the rhythms. I probably only ever got about 2 sections deep before forgetting where on earth I was, because one thing that I mean, the track creators can't do anything about it because it's literally straight rhythms are straight rhythms. And another legs off from overjumping, god damn it, is everything does look quite samey when you're coming up to it, and where the jumps are quite tall, very, very hard to kind of work out how far you need to jump. Like, this looks like a wall, this is fairly steep, which I was correct, fair enough, but yeah, some of the jumps, I don't know if they're like a double, a supercross triple, a massive quad. As you've seen, there's a few quads into the corners that I've been casing. So it really does just come down to muscle memory and just learning the track and trying to, get over that. There we go. This one is not big at all, I don't believe. Yes, there we go. My memory's not that bad. I'm getting there, getting somewhere. No clue what I've got to do here. Just slam against that wall. Double. Preferably stay on the track. This as well is a very, very, very small one. Little scrub jump. And there is a lap, which didn't even count the lap time because I either went off the track too much or the laps don't start until now. So this is the true lap. So I'm going to do one more just to get like I always call it the banker lap. Just get a lap in just to see what it is. I think that's what I'll do here before I end this video. But it's one of them where I scrolling through the forums, didn't see anything negative about this track at all. Even the man himself, the most well-known of track creators, in my opinion. I suppose it depends on at what point you've played Sim. Checkers even commented saying that he absolutely loves it. Really, really good stuff. And apparently, a lot of the kind of jump templates or sizing and such was taken from some of Checkers' tracks. So he's a very influential man in this game, I want to say. He's helped a hell of a lot of people when it comes to track making, and I was very, very sad to see him go. I feel like I don't think he's back by any means, but I swear I saw something not that long ago where he suddenly made an appearance again. But for anyone that doesn't know, Checkers, he works for Race Factory. He works for Race Tech. It used to be quite like a massive part of Race Factory. He used to do all the Supercross tracks and done a bunch of the outdoors tracks in partnership with Barrington. I think they took turns making rounds. This is years ago now at this point, and I don't want to get all of my information wrong. I doubt he watches these videos, but one of you guys will absolutely know more than I do. I believe he used to work on the MXOS ATV games. I'm pretty sure he worked on a live, helping with the JS7 compound and such. So a very, very well-versed man when it comes to track making, and I used to always trick like watching his live streams just to try and gain a little bit of an edge on people when in the Supercross season. Just really interested to see how the tracks come together, like looking at ahead of time what lines might be the best lines. He uses Photoshop, which I know not a lot of people use when it comes for track making, but as someone myself that is absolutely as when it comes to Photoshop, as you can well see by my video thumbnails, they're not the most exciting by any means. I wish I was a lot better. One person's thumbnails who I'm quite jealous of, actually, they always seem to be not clickbait, but you know, they look enticing is the way I want to word it. Is Wyndham. I think he does a very good job with his thumbnails, so that's what I strive to be. But no, I like watching people do things that I can't. I always find that very, very impressive and very motivating at the same time. So yeah, back in the day, watching Checkers make those tracks was always really, really interesting to me. And he's pretty chill as well. We just bang some music on and get making, and it was just a nice time all round as I legs off again. Oh god damn it, where am I at on the map? I'm exactly halfway around. That's all right. Not too shabby. I'm sure we'll probably end up with like a 5-minute-ish lap time. I have no idea. I don't know what point I crossed the line last time around. But of course, as always, I will put the track in the description for you. I did have a little bit of difficulty downloading it. I don't know if my computer was just having a funny 5 minutes or what, but there's a normal link when you first load up the page, and then at the bottom of the comments, someone must have been having potato PC problems and asked for a low-res version, which they uploaded and put a link for that as well. Whatever reason, neither of them would actually download for me. I had to right-click and open it in a new tab, and then copy that link and then paste it in my current window and then it automatically downloaded. So it's a Mediafire post, and it didn't take me to a Mediafire page, it just automatically started downloading. But yeah, for whatever reason, it was giving me a lot of grief, so I'm glad that I actually figured out how to get it working. I'm sure it probably was just my PC having a funny moment, so hopefully it doesn't give anybody else any grief, but that's how you go about doing that if you can't download it for some reason. Oh, god damn it, that caught me out. I've changed my front brake settings, so you might see every now and then in upcoming videos on Sim at least, I might be tucking the front brake, or tucking the front end a bit under braking. All of my Sim career, probably the good 3,000-4,000 maybe more hours at this point. Granted, they all kind of went to waste when I moved over to bikes and forgot everything, but I used, I think it was anti-lock front brake that I used. Now, sole reason being, you can see on my controller I'm pressing, my R1 button is my front brake. No idea why I set it up like this when I first started playing. A smart person would have used the left trigger, so you can actually modulate it. I don't know why I've done that, but that's how I've ridden all these years. A lot of time I tend to just use engine braking more than the brakes itself, but it's really fun coming into a really sharp corner. I'll kind of front brake and accelerate at the same time just to stop the bike from tucking, but I've turned that from anti-lock to normal now, and I've turned the brake torque down, so it doesn't kind of lock and tuck easily. Every now and then, if I get a little bit too happy and lean too far whilst using that front brake, it will tuck on me, which is just something that I'm going to have to adapt to and learn to. The only reason that I've done it is I feel like I need that little bit more front brake power. I have scenarios every now and then where I'm coming into a corner and I don't feel like I'm going particularly fast by any means, and I've grabbed the front brake and I've just go over the turn. Like, it just doesn't seem to slow down at all, and it was getting frustrating. I did try to change to the left trigger for a bit. I say a bit, it was like 10 minutes, and I kept crashing and going back to pressing the other button and such. So for now, I'm still using the same scuff button, however I've just changed the brake settings ever so slightly, so forgive me if I crash more than normal. 1, this track is difficult, 2, I'm not used to the 450 again, and 3, my front brake settings have changed ever so slightly. And as we come up to the finish line here, it's actually going to be a lot more than a 5-minute lap time. It's probably going to be about 6, maybe 5:40-ish, something like that. I'm not sure if this has been a particularly good lap by any means, but it gives you a nice idea, it gives you something to aim for as well, even though a lot of you will be much better than I. There you go, hit the finish line, and that lap didn't count either. Lovely! So I hope you've enjoyed the video, regardless. Please do drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you guys are up to. Until I catch you in the next video, peace.
I'm working hard, I'm sacrificing my life, I'm sacrificing my mind, I'm sacrificing my sanity, but most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine, I feel like I am a king. Honestly, I can't complain, even with faith that's the size of a grain of some salt, I will still move a mountain and do what I want. I got